soak up as much as you can because in reality, like not a lot of people can be in the position or this exact room. Look out for each other because you don't know where you're going to be. But what Scott's doing right now is very phenomenal. And I'm so glad that you all are taking the opportunity.
Many of you have asked me, Scott, will you mentor me? Yes, I will mentor you.
Me and Amy, we've been carrying her for a while. We're kind of the OGs. And is my idol. But I am so much older than Sakari, and I want to be Sakara when I grow up. Yeah, oh my gosh. No, I miss Amy. I have not talked to her in forever, but Amy is gonna drop some gems as well. So y'all listen to her. Everyone else that talked about their experiences, like I'm super proud. I've heard a lot of great stories and it's phenomenal. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like I am the biggest person where I like to lift while I climb. And I love seeing other individuals win because that means that we're all winning.
My next person, near and dear to me as well. I'm going to go back to Friday night study session. Every Friday night, I'm there. Whether it was just one person or two person, I was there every damn Friday looking for that one person. And you know what? Here's the sad thing Demi and I was talking about today. I said, Demi, I've met my 10,000 minority Scrum Master goal. I didn't tell her that, but I said, I've trained thousands of Europe students. And I only know 8 of the thousands of Europe students that I will feel good inviting to speak to a future generation. Y'all ever thought about that? Only 8 people out of everybody I trained that I would feel comfortable inviting and sharing. This lady here, Friday night, I can't remember. It's been years at this point. She hadn't taken the exam. And I noticed when I met her, she was coming to the Friday night study session. Next Friday, she come to another study. How was the exam? You take the exam? No, I haven't taken it yet. I don't remember all the details. Let's say fast forward. She coming to my study sessions for a month. You take the exam yet? No. I'm saying the same damn thing every Friday. What the hell you waiting on? Are you serious? Take that exam. What are you doing? I'm scared. Get over it. You got 2 attempts. As she took it, and y'all read the LinkedIn write-up I had about her. This is the person, something happened to me. I couldn't get on the Friday night Zoom call. I don't know. I wasn't hurt. I was like traveling, stuck in the airport or something like that. I say, Amy, I ain't gonna be able to make it to the study session tonight. Can you and Justin Allen? Could you? The only person I have ever allowed to cover for me. Why? Because I know she know that damn Scrum guide like me, like the back of her damn hand. Had no problem, no worry. When I got back to the phone, when she was like, hey, you have any problems? You and Justin good? Oh, yeah, we got through no problem. I wasn't worried because I knew she put the time in to know that damn guy. And I hope y'all put in the time to do that because the only way you're going to find success before work is only in a dictionary. You got to put the time in. Amy, you got the mic.
Sir Scott is the only one who can out me like that, and I won't be mad. Like, okay, yes, I was very scared. I was extremely scared, very much so. And to his point, yes, I'm sitting in my car right now because only Sir Scott can get me here in my car while I'm on vacation on my way to the next thing. Um, Hi everyone, I'm Amy Deanna. I just got married, so I'm still getting used to that last name, and we'll talk about that later. Promise it's important. So I started my Scrum journey back in 2021 and graduated from the year of class of 2022. I was in a project management track. I am in Silicon Valley, California, the most expensive city in the world. I promise you. I was the poorest person in the world. I made $35,000 a year living in the most expensive city in the world at Walgreens, of all places, like the place y'all get your medicine. Like, I was doing that for years. Goodness, I had been working there since I was 16, and I quit just before I joined Europe, probably a year before Europe, and I was lost. I was poor, was broke, and had no idea what else to do. Moved back in with my sister. Hated that because, siblings get along better when we don't live together. For those of you without siblings, just trust us. A lot of you just shook your head, yes, okay? But trust us, you don't live with your siblings. If you can live apart, it's better for you. I just lived with my sister, and she was like, you're doing absolutely nothing. You're better than this. How does the honor student from high school and every grade since kindergarten, how does the honor student end up sitting here, no college degree, nothing going on for her, living in my house? And so here we are. So I tried going back to school again, but I didn't want student loans. I was not going to have it. Student loans and me don't get along. We're like oil and water. And so I did it very slowly. I got part-time jobs. I paid for that class by class, FAFSA as much as I could. Took 7 years to get my associate's degree, mind you. I fell into Europe because of Justin Tran, who was on this call earlier, who I hope y'all get to meet again. And he did the program. He was in the IT track. He's like, Aimee, you just got to do it. This is ridiculous. I will tell you this. He said, you're smarter than everyone else in this cohort. You better do this. And so I tried, I applied, got in, and it was a fantastic experience. I was able to, because of COVID, actually take half of it from my sister's house. She was at an air base in Nevada. Her husband was in the Air Force. I got to take the first 6 months at the meta site from home. And then for the last 6 months, the in-person internship, I was able to stay at a family friend's house, and she let me live with her for the next 6 months. And it was a fantastic experience. I met Sir Scott shortly before I moved back, and the experience of learning Scrum was so new to me. I loved project work. I loved project management work. I loved being in control. I am a control freak. Yes, my poor husband, right? I started learning about Scrum. I started developing more in Scrum and how I could do this full time. And it worked out pretty well because they threw me into a position where everyone has a master's degree, but nobody wanted to touch this one project. And it was crazy because this one project, I looked at it and I was like, potential. And so I peeked into it. I asked if I could do it. They're like, what makes you think you can do this, first of all? And I was like, well, I practice Scrum. I have a clear understanding of Agile methodologies. I have pretty good history in project management during my pre-internship half year. And they were like, you know what? What's the worst that can go wrong? Nobody wants to touch this anymore. Shit, go ahead. The project that I ended up touching, it was something they never wanted to touch. It was a mess of tickets. I worked in a ticketing system. I actually worked in the Premier Partner Protection Organization. Little quick background. If your Instagram gets hacked, if your Facebook gets hacked, that ticket went to my team. But I worked for the Premier Partner people. So that's like celebrities, politicians, social media influencers. I got to work on Ryan Reynolds' account. I got to work on a K-pop idol's account. I got to work on a state security account. I got to work on all these different accounts because they're awesome and they let an intern do that. And so I worked in this space and there was just so much issue with ticketing. We were spending way too much time. When my team got tickets in, they were so irresponsible. They just left tickets to die if the account wasn't important enough. And I didn't think that was right. So I asked them for the responsibility for it, and they let me run an entire project 100% on my own. My manager didn't lead it. I didn't have any of my team lead anything. If anything, I built a team using people from other teams, and I got to complete my entire project from beginning to end. And I called Scott every time. What do you do here? What is this? Like, how do I make this? I found other people here in this group, actually. I remember calling Justin at one point because he was also working at Meta. He had got converted over. And I was like, what is this? What is that? How do I do this? And I just loved the networking that I had built from Europe. I've been able to pull from their experiences, even though they're not my own, and work on them in my own project. And I was able to successfully complete a project from beginning to end myself, single-handedly. As an intern, got so much recognition for it. I got to meet the C-suite of the global operations for Facebook in response to it, because I got to bring my full presentation of everything I accomplished to him and was like, hey, this is what I did. This is how I did it. And this is why I did it. And now we saved this much money for the company. And they were like, how much? I saved the company about, if I remember correctly, I think it was like 1.2 million working hours by not having to do certain things, by building automation sequences and organizing things properly. And from beginning to end, I used Scrum the entire way. And so by the end of it, they asked me all these questions. How did you accomplish this? What did you do? What was your process? And of course, every step of the way, I mentioned Scrum. And it was such a beautiful thing for them because they were using Scrum, but not correctly, of course. So hearing how successful a project can go by doing it correctly, that even an intern with zero experience is able to pull something like this off, was such a fantastic thing for me. But unfortunately, this does not have the happiest ending. Facebook then had their giant layoffs, which made the news, where they cut 10,000 people. I was one of those 10,000 people, unfortunately, and I was left without a job after an internship. But this is not the saddest story. I somehow found my way through networking to the recruiter for Cisco Systems, which is the networking company. And they were hiring a new vice president for their product management organization. And they needed an executive assistant. And me being me, I love being a Jill of all trades. I love knowing everything. I love knowing a bit of everything. If you need me to figure out how to get a party going in Spain by next weekend, I got you. If you need me to book you a plane to Antarctica, I got you. Like, I loved having that ability to be so agile and adaptable in my role. So I applied with basically no experience. I kind of just did it for the vibes. I also did it to find out what the interview questions are at Cisco, because that's like lock and key. Nobody knows. I got the interviews and somehow kept advancing. Now, here's the thing though. As I kept advancing, a lot of the times it was because, I find out later, is because they just really liked my personality. They didn't care if I could do the job. They didn't care if I had any experience. They just cared, do I seem coachable? Do I seem teachable? Do I seem like a nice person to be around? Do I seem enjoyable to be around? And I found out very quickly that that's just kind of how being an executive assistant is. It's very personality based, and they seemed to like mine. So that's why they hired me. But then that was the pre-interviews. The next interview was the executive interviews. This is going to be my bosses. These are the people that I am going to work with very closely for the next however long my career is. And with my senior director, I already knew that my interview was going very bad. He was very technical. He was like, have you ever done this before? Have you ever done that before? No. Eventually he goes, give me one reason why I should hire you. What is on your resume that you want to highlight to me? And I started talking about my Scrum project at Meta. And he looked at me and he goes, why do you know Scrum? And I explained to him, I learned it during Europe. It was a very integral part of my internship and I was very successful with it. And he goes, you know Scrum? Nobody knows Scrum. You're the only admin I have ever met that knows Scrum. That's amazing. And I saw the moment in the interview where I was like, this is it. I'm going to get hired. I can do this. And he goes, so if we had this going on, he started asking me questions about deliverables and about the process in which product management works, which is the mind creation of a project into the physical creation of the project. And I was answering them and I was following everything he was saying. He was like, oh, this is amazing. We might become more productive this way. I think this could work out. I think this would work really well if you're interested. But what do you think? And I was like, I am so excited to learn this new thing called product management. I am so excited to learn. And I think you're cool. I think everyone else is cool. He's like, okay, great. And I somehow got hired. And here's the thing, by the way, I was competing against a Sony executive assistant who had 5 years of experience. This is Sony PlayStation. They were in the product management field. They had done this for 5 years. They were very experienced. And what I later found out was I asked them, why did you hire me? They went, you just seemed like you really wanted to be here. And something as small as that, you just want to be there. You want to be in the room. You want to be surrounded by these people. They can see that. They can feel that in these interviews. Even though all my interviews were remote, I didn't do a single in-person interview. Even though I was down the street from their headquarters, they all met me remotely and they were able to feel it from a camera. And so it was a great experience being able to do that. And I am happy to say that I've been with my vice president now. I'm the executive assistant to the vice president of engineering escalation. I've been his executive assistant for the last 3 years. I have been promoted 3 times. So if money matters to you, that's what it is. I'm very transparent about that. I started Europe with about $25,000 in debt, and then it just kept growing into this monster. And now I'm happy to say I'm completely debt free. Yeah. And by the way, I also use Scrum to do that. So if you're ever curious about how Scrum can benefit you, it can get you a job. It can help you with your projects at work. It can clear you of debt. And it can plan your wedding. I planned my entire wedding without a wedding planner for free because I did it all using the Scrum concepts and the Agile methodologies. And my husband and I paid for it ourselves. And we did that all in a year. Very short timeline, actually, for a wedding is 1 year. And completely ourselves. So it's been 6 months now since I got married. And we are doing great things. We are now using Scrum to buy a house. So that's coming soon. Hopefully you'll see that. I told you that it would be relevant that I got married, okay? I came in late. And as I was sitting here, I remembered why I came in late anyways. And it was because I love this group. I love this community. I love everything that it stands for. I love everything that it creates, that it builds. And oh, by the way, during my 3 years at Cisco Systems, I not only was a year up intern, I was also a year up manager. I managed my own 2 interns, and I have rebuilt the year up program within Cisco, Splunk, Thousand Eyes, and Meraki. I'm currently doing that right now with the nonprofit support and as well as the organizational team, the administrative staff and the operations staff. I found a spot for year up interns. I found people who are willing to invest that time and effort into it. And now I'm on the hunt for money within the company to do it. And I'm almost there. I am just almost there. So if you think about what you can accomplish when you lift as you climb, as you go into corporate, I love the opportunities it gives me, which is being able to host interns, being able to create more internship roles for others like yourselves, if you're in the program now, and also open up opportunities for UPro, which is the post-internship firm where you would go into if you want to start working as a contractor. And being able to open up these spots as a younger person of color within corporate who has executives' ears is such a fantastic experience. It's an amazing opportunity. I feel a lot of worth being able to do these things. So don't think that corporate is all sunshine and rainbows. It's not. It's hard work. It's long hours. It's weird hours, but it's good money. It's honest money. And it's money that you can use to support the next generation of Europe interns, or even not interns, even just other people of color or people in more disadvantaged areas of the world. I don't want to limit myself to just Europe. I just think Europe has a great foundation already that I can piggyback upon to pull those people. So just a thought, if you're ever interested in joining corporate and promoting Europe within your corporate sector, I would love to chat with you about that. I built a really nice relationship with the Europe executives, trying to build that relationship back at Cisco. And also, I promise you, you are not wasting any time being here today or being in any of Sir Scott's meetings. If you ever question yourself as, do I really want to be here? As all the other people before me said, it's worth it in the end. It really is. If money is your goal, yes, it's worth it. If fulfillment is your goal, yes, it's worth it. If being able to go from unstable to stable is your goal, then yes, it's worth it. It's all worth it. Everything is worth it. I promise you, if you are concerned about the time commitment, I promise you that it will pay off in the end. You will get as much as you give. So make sure you give a lot so that you can get a lot. This is a very equal opportunity situation for everyone. Yeah. I am also like Sakara. I will talk forever and ever. We should be here next year. I don't know. I actually have my family waiting for me. So I'm not going to take too much more of your time. I do miss everyone, by the way.
Aimee, thank you so very much for that amazing sharing of your legendary journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who are listening to this call, if you're wondering whether it's worth it, yes, it's worth it. Every second, every session, every Scrum page study. Oh, it's definitely worth it. But only if you decide to show up. Join the movement. Join the mentorship. Join the legendary league of extraordinary Scrum practitioners. We are here, we ready, we willing, and we able to help you get to the next level, wherever that is for you, whatever that looks like for you. As you go throughout your day to day, keep in mind, be legendary. You are your brand. If I heard about your name today, if I heard about your brand today, what would people say about your brand? Okay, good. You better than that. Join the legendary league. I see you in the portal.